between God having only a father or only a mother? It is pretty obvious why this choice was made and who made it. God can only be male, and God can only beget a male. This is just the way it went. So say males, at least. All this, of course, is utter nonsense and totally polytheistic. But keep in mind, the belief in those days was that the fathers passed on their own souls to their offspring. It was because God was the father of Jesus that Jesus' soul or life was regarded as God's own divine life. Thus, all Mary supplied was Jesus' humanity, his flesh, that is. This was and remains the proverbial belief. God supplied Jesus' divine nature, God's own soul or life, while Mary supplied his human nature, flesh. Needless to say, Cyril never countenanced any notion the Godhead or Trinity had any beginning, or was ever born, or had a mother or a father. His reference was solely to God being born into this world, the incarnation, that is. This, however, posed the same old question of who was the Son? Was it the divine Logos, God, or the man Jesus? Was Mary then the mother of the divine Logos, Son? Or was she only the mother of the human Son, the man Jesus? It is the answer to this question that raises the question of who was the Son's mother. Was she mother of the eternal Logos, God, or only the mother of the human being Jesus? Given Cyril's monophysitic resolution that Christ had one divine nature, Mary, as the mother of Christ's one divine nature, is what made her mother of God. As we know, he had a fit if anyone tried to speak of Jesus as if he was distinct from God. For him, this simply blew apart his understanding of the union or oneness of God and man. So too, he allowed no distinction between Mary as mother of God and Mary as mother of the man Jesus. For this too would have blown his view of Christ as one divine being. Although Mary provided the flesh or individual appearance of Christ, yet because Christ had one divine nature, Christ was God, and Mary the mother of God. His understanding of Theotokos was obviously premised on his monophysitic understanding of Christ's one divine nature. While some have lauded Cyril as a champion of Mary, the truth is, she was his excuse to champion the idea of Christ's one divine nature. Marginalia, he used her, question mark. Back to the text. Cyril never took his understanding of Christ from Mary, rather he took his understanding of Mary from his own idea of Christ. Since the term Theotokos was in place long before Cyril and Nestorius came on the scene, the fact it was never an issue prior to this time points to its being used as a way for Cyril to promote his idea of Christ. He also used it as a way to resolve the conflict between which see, Alexandria or Constantinople best represented the Orthodox Church. Nestorius is reminding people Almighty God had no mother was all Cyril needed to attack the Patriarch of Constantinople as unorthodox, attack the whole Antiochian understanding of Christ, of which Nestorius was its authoritative spokesperson at the time. It was in the course of this dispute, however, both Nestorius and Cyril articulated two different theologies of Mary. First, Nestorius pointed out to Cyril, quote, "To say she was the mother of God means she was consubstantial with the Father." Cyril countered with his view that since Mary, quote, "bore in the flesh God who was hypostatically, in essence, with flesh," who was united hypostatically, in essence, with flesh, for that reason we call her Mother of God. While neither one gave any credence to Nestorius' view, both views, however, suggest a theology of Mary worthy of consideration. First of all, both views were based on the notion God begot a Son consubstantial with God, of the same nature or essence of God. Thus it is solely God's begetting that makes God a Father. Keep in mind, if God did not beget, then God is not a father, and the Logos is not a son, and Mary is not God's mother. Second, both the terms hypostasis, essence, used by Cyril, and consubstantial, of the same essence, used by Nestorius, mean the same thing. Both terms were used by the fathers. But where Cyril's reference is simply to God being one with the flesh, Nestorius' reference was specifically to the Father being one with Mary. All Nestorius is pointing out is that for Mary to be mother of God, Logos or Son, she would have to be of the same essence as the Father. So let us see how these two views would work. Understanding Nestorius' view. A. Just like the divine Son, Logos, is consubstantial of one essence with the Father, so too Mary is of one essence, consubstantial with the Father. This would not be a fourth divine person of the Trinity, but rather, Father-Mother would be one and the same divine hypostasis or person. Thus the Trinity would be Father-Mother, Logos, Son, and Spirit. Mother is not a separate hypostasis or person of the Trinity any more than Jesus is a separate hypostasis or person of the Trinity. If we think in terms of God as three persons, then Father-Mother constitute a single divine person, just as the God-man Christ constitutes a single divine person. So, just as we say Christ is the oneness of two natures in the one person of the Logos, so too we can say God and Mary are two natures in the one person of the Father. B. What Nestorius seems to be saying, if Mary is in truth the mother of God, then God is not just a father, but a mother-father. These two could no more be separated than Cyril could separate the Logos and Jesus. From this we might also infer that just as Jesus was the incarnation of the divine Son, God, so too Mary was the incarnation of the divine Mother, God. Any objection to Mary as the incarnation of God the Mother would be the same objection to Jesus as the incarnation of God the Son. In this matter of Mary and Jesus, be they human or divine, or the union of divine and human, mother and child either stand or fall together. So given Nestorius' understanding of prosopon, he could have understood Cyril as saying Mary was of the same prosopon or person as the Father. Remember, it was only after Ephesus, after Nestorius had been condemned, Cyril changed his mind from hypostasis as essence to hypostasis as prosopon or person. So if hypostasis means prosopon, then Mary being hypostatically one with God meant she was one in the prosopon or person of the Father, just as Jesus' human nature was one in the prosopon or person of the Son, the Logos. The difference? Mary is one with the Father, and Jesus one with the Logos or Son. Thus, Mary, being one with the Father, she is in truth the Mother of God. Father-Mother, then, are one divine person, and the one that begot the Logos was not just Father but also Mother. And just as in the Incarnation, God acted as the human father of Jesus, so too Mary acted as the human mother of Jesus. So if God begot God, a Son or Logos, God is not just a divine Father but equally a divine Mother. And so too, for the early conception of the man Jesus, just as Mary acted as the human mother of Jesus, God acted as the human father of Jesus. So this is how it goes. The Logos, God or Son, was divinely begotten by the one divine person, Father, Mother, and later humanly conceived, made incarnate, by the divine Father, Mother, acting as Jesus' natural father and mother. Egg and sperm, that is. That the one person of the Trinity called Father is really Father, Mother would be the true theology of Theotokos as Mother of God. Nestorius makes all this theologically correct. It is Mary's consubstantial oneness with the Father that really defines Mary as Theotokos. The distinction Father and Mother, however, are only metaphoric titles and not hypostatic distinctions. As consubstantial progenitors, there is no hypostatic distinction between mother-father. Marginalia, the beauty of Mary's soul made her fertile beyond belief, ? Although neither Nestorius or Cyril gave any consideration to Christ's mother being consubstantial of one nature with God the Father, they should have. What it means is that God is no more father than a mother, and, by the same token, God is no more son than a daughter. That the title for God as only a father and only a son belongs to polytheism's pantheon of gendered gods. Since there